The following is a special presentation of iRacing on LSRTV, your home for sim racing.
Live from ISM Raceway in Avondale, Arizona, this is round 29 of the United Sim Racing BNC Lawn and Landscaping Truck Series here tonight on your home for sim racing and iRacing Live LSRTV here tonight. Cisco live on your home for sim racing LSRTV. Cisco Scaramuzza along. And let's try this again, Gabe. A little bit of technical issues here, but we're back live here on LSRTV, your home for sim racing. And Gabe, we had a whole intro right now, but I guess we'll just cut to the short version. 6 drivers still involved in the chase for the championship, and tonight the final elimination. 3 more are going to get sent home, so 3 can battle it out for the United Sim Racing Championship.
Yep, coming into tonight, 6 drivers, as you said: Bobby Terrell, Christian Peterson, Jamie Walker, Scott Simley, Scott Formosa, and Seth the Merchant come in with a shot at the championship. And if any one of them wins tonight, then that is going to be their ticket to the round of 4 at, I'm trying to look through here, right? Yeah, the round of 4 at Homestead Miami Speedway, and it's going to be their fight for the championship. I'm looking forward to it, Cisco. These guys, they put on one heck of a show. I haven't been able to commentate for them all year, but I love this racetrack, and I love these guys here at the United Sim Racing Truck Series. So it's going to be one heck of a night. A little bit of a small field, but that should get us through the entire race pretty quickly, and some good racing up front, because we've got all your familiar names from the United Sim Racing Truck Series here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely looking forward to a decent race here tonight. Phoenix, not a track to get, it's a track that doesn't necessarily give you some of those good races, Gabe, because we've seen plenty of melees here in the past, so we know these guys are going to have to take it nice and easy here at ISM, formerly the Phoenix International Raceway, and 156 laps, like you said, to determine who moves on into the round of, well, the final round of eliminations before we crown the 2018 USR Truck Series Championship. But about 10 seconds left in qualifying here. Session just beginning to round to close here. Kind of opening thoughts, Gabe. What's it going to take to stay at the front here?
Well, it's going to take a good restart getting off into turn number 1, because it looks like Jamie Walker's going to get the pole. So, once these guys get fired, and, after every restart, you're going to have to get to the bottom, because the outside lane is just not there, especially through 3 and 4. You can kind of get away with it in 1 and 2 because the guys want to get tight. But then, this is going to be the kicker. You cannot use the back straightaway dogleg here at ISM's Raceway. And these guys, they're pretty much used to that backstretch dogleg. There's cones down there. You go down there, you will get a cutting the course penalty. So that'll be one thing to look out for.
Yeah, you don't want to end up with one of those, especially if you're going for the championship. But the clock strikes 0, and that means we're going to send it down to look at our LSRTV starting grid here from ISM Raceway. Jamie Walker going to start on pole. Justin Michael going to start to his outside. Third going to go to Bobby Terrell. Fourth to Dwayne Dunn. Fifth place going to go to Randy Oakham. Then you got Scott Simley, Scott Formosa, Christian Peterson, Bob Gillenwater, and Jeff Ryan, your top 10.
11th to 12th, rounding out your field is going to be Chris Gibu and Steve Herring in the number 98 machines. And this goes around out your field. 12 cars, or 12 trucks, I should say, getting ready to roll off here at ISM Speedway, Cisco. You got it in the back of your mind that you're going to have to race for the championship. You're going to have to race pretty much all out. If you're not racing for the championship, if you're somebody like maybe Randy Oakham or Dwayne Dunn, I believe they're not racing for the championship, how long do you race these guys? You got it in the back of your head that these guys are racing for something more, but you also want to break into that victory column.
Well, still at the end of the day, you want to leave ISM Raceway with the race victory as well. So, of course, that's going to be in the mind of several of these drivers. But nonetheless, like you said, and with a field this small, it makes it a lot easier for you to focus and kind of visualize that when just a little bit here, Gabe. But the trucks roll off here from Phoenix, and we get set to take the green flag here. Jamie Walker has been fast all season long. Definitely going to be a favorite coming into tonight, and sitting on pole is a great way to do it.
These guys get rolling. They're going to get one lap here. Considered not considered a short track. So we're going to get the race pre-started right here. Coming off of turn number 4, Cisco. These guys are going to put on one heck of a show for us tonight. Should be clean and green for most of the night. These guys, we got a few drivers to worry about. Fight for the championship ends here for some guys, and it's just the beginning. For some of them here at ISM Raceway. Here they come off the corner number 4. Jamie Walker is going to take the green flag. Here they go. We're underway.
Underway down towards turn number 1. It's going to be Jamie Walker going to take command here early. They'll head to turn number 1 and fairly clean through the rest of the field here. And it looks like going to go side by side for that 3rd place position. Dwayne Dunn to the outside of Bobby Terrell, the Muscle Milk Chevrolet, trying to make things happen. Still to the inside of Dunn as they head through turns 3 and 4 for the first time tonight. And it looks like Terrell's going to grab that final step on the podium as Walker going to lead your first lap.
Lap number 1, you're going to go to the Mountain Dew 88 machine as they go off into turn number 1. Justin Michael, he's another one of those guys. He is out of the championship running. He's in 7th, so he just got cut off in the last round. He's going to be another one of those guys. He's always fast here in Cisco. If you think back to a couple of years ago here at ISM Raceway, formerly Phoenix International Raceway, and one of the most exciting finishes we've ever had on LSRTV. Justin Michael won it spinning across the start-finish line, so he's going to look to repeat the result, not the performance.
Yeah, absolutely, and Michael has definitely been looking forward to a good run here, and off turn number 2 this time, keeping pace for a good most part here with Jamie Walker, so we'll have to see if the 87 can do any more here as the race goes on. But meanwhile, good battle right now for 4th, Dwayne Dunn, and then right behind him you got Randy Yoakum, Scott Simley, Scott Formosa, those 3 trucks as well coming off turn number 4. You can see them all grouped together as they pound down the front straightaway back towards turn number 1 we go. The 8 right on the back bumper, that Whiskey River or Toyota Tundra rather, of Dwayne Dunn. They come off turn number 2, and like we said at the top of the show, no dog leg. You're not going to be able to go all the way down to the inside to try and make the pass. Probably going to avoid some wrecks doing that, but it's going to make these guys a little bit frustrated, Gabe, because you want to be able to use all that racing room down there. It's prime real estate, except it's not for sale tonight.
Well, I mean, they could always do like the IndyCar DW12. I think whenever they first came out with this racetrack, you could always take the apron through 3 and 4. That was a thing. So, yeah, that's. I actually like this. You know, from a racer's perspective, you want to use that bottom lane. You want to use that dog leg. But you know, from a ad man and from a viewer's perspective, you don't want to spend the entire race under caution, because that's what you really get with some of these guys with the dog leg being open. And you know, Phoenix is really famous here on iRacing for that. So I can see why they made the decision to cut off the dog leg here. So we got a battle for the 4th position. Randy Yoakum to the inside. He's going to use the little bit that he can on the back straightaway, trying to get the inside lane to go. He's going to dive it off into turn number 3, still side by side. Let's see the outside lane. Can they get anything going? They're coming off the corner. These cars are going to get tight, racing side by side to the line. It's going to be a dead heat for 4th.
Yeah, it is, and down to the inside, Yoakum going to challenge in the Washington Capitals truck, and is going to be able to pull past the 39 of Dwayne Dunn. Now side by side with Scott Simley as they head through the dog leg once again. Simley down to the bottom side, with Dwayne Dunn going to hang tough on the outside, and Simley going to be able to complete that pass, and Scott Formosa going to go right through as well. So Dwayne Dunn going to fall back behind these guys, and Formosa, Simley, and Yoakum all past the 39. So we complete lap number 7 there, and rather lap number 7 and on to lap number 8 here. 156 here to go tonight in total, and taking off to a very early and a calm start so far early here, Gabe, and it's a good thing to see here at Phoenix.
Move Yoakum up into the 4th position. Yeah, it's been a calm procession here, so we should get this race done pretty easily. I mean, these guys are putting on a decent show here in the early going. We've seen a little bit of racing, not as much as we said you would see with that dog, but these guys are still coping pretty well. It's Justin Michael. These guys are getting ready to fight here. Justin Michael, he's caught by about a 10th between he and Jamie Walker, so expect to see a battle for the lead here in the next few laps. Justin Michael's one of these guys. This is pretty much the class of the Truck Series. I haven't been following this Truck Series all that much here this year. You know, I'm a little bit confused as to the fact that Justin Michael's not in this championship fight. It must have been a heartbreaker for him because he is one of the faster guys in this league. And he's looking to show that he deserves to fight for the championship, even if he can't. You know, he's going to try and win out here and win at Homestead next week.
And the biggest problem, Gabe, has just been the fact of Michael had to miss one of the opening races of the championship and basically was playing from behind. Kind of knew that unless he won or something like that to get enough points and dominate, he would be out of the championship fight, and that's exactly what happened to Michael. And as a result, you know, outside the championship picture for that, and you have to think just somebody like Jamie Walker is going to be in prime position to run away with this championship. He's been so fast all season long, and while Michael's been one to challenge him, we just haven't seen the same sort of speed out of the rest of the field previously. So Jamie Walker definitely your prime target here, but that hasn't stopped other drivers from making noise before. I mean, Scott Simley won this championship, and basically we didn't have to talk about him half the time because he just kind of snuck his way up through the field, but that's what Scott Simley does. He does a very good job of that as we run through 1 and 2 once again, and Scott Simley right now running in that 5th position.
We've seen some good races between Justin Michael, Jamie Walker, and Scott Simley. All together, here's Justin Michael trying to get that inside lane to work. Jamie Walker washes up the racetrack trying to use that outside lane to get a little bit better of a run. It seems to be working so far. About 2 car lengths between these top 2. A little bit farther through the field, everybody pretty much where they started. Scott Formosa up from 7th down to 6th, and they all line up there in front of him. Scott Simley up from 6th to 5th, and Randy Yoakum up from 5th to 4th. Your top 3 remain unchanged. 8th and 9th, they stay in the same position. Christian Peterson and Bob Gillenwater, Chris Gibu, Jeff Ryan, and Steve Herring round out the rest of the field. Jeff Ryan is down from 10th down to 11th in that mellow yellow number 10 machine.
That's Mountain Dew, sir, at least on my screen. So getting your beverage companies mixed up there. That's I think Pepsi Cola is going to be knocking down your door here in the near future.
Oh.
Going to be in trouble with the cola companies. That's never good.
Back up front, Jamie Walker continuing. He's actually starting to walk away a little bit more, Cisco here, so it'll be something to look out for. Is, you know, Justin Michael was able to catch him, but he just caught him a little bit too much maybe, and he's worn out his tires, because Jamie Walker is one of the best we've seen on the Truck Series, having to save his tires. So that'll be something to keep in mind as we get later into this run.
Yes, it will, but Justin Michael still keeping him in check here, and a very similar gap between Michael and Walker right now. Not going to be doing a whole lot, so those two going to continue to kind of ride in that 1st and 2nd position. Meanwhile, flashback, you see Bobby Terrell kind of at the edge of your picture, just out in front of Randy Yoakum in that 8 truck, and Scott Simley as well around right behind him, in going through the dogleg right now in the 5th position at the moment. But Formosa behind them 6th, 7th, Dwayne Dunn, and Scott Formosa is definitely one of these drivers here, and looking to try and kind of have a little bit of a turnaround here, Gabe. He's definitely shown speed in the past and just hasn't had the finishes that he's wanted. A prime opportunity tonight here at ISM to make it happen.
And he's got to do a little bit of work tonight, because Scott Simley, Jamie Walker, Christian Peterson, and Bobby Terrell are in front of him in the championship points. He's currently sitting 5th, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do to try and get up into the championship fight. Meanwhile, up in front of him, Scott Simley and Randy Yoakum, they're continuing to go at it as Jamie Walker continues to pull away from Justin Michael. Here closing in on lap number 20. Yoakum having a good little solid little run here early. They go off into turn number 1. Simley in that Miller High Life truck trying to get that outside lane moving. It's just going to be difficult here without that dog leg here, Cisco. These guys, you know, usually they try and get as much momentum as they can and then duck it down and save about, you know, maybe a 10th or 2. And you know, that's what's able to get them to the inside lane to make a pass. But unfortunately, you don't have that opportunity here. You have a little bit of an apron down the back straightaway, but that's not enough to get what you want.
Yeah, it isn't, and you can see kind of looking out the back of Randy Yoakum right now, you can see Simley kind of looking all over the place to try and make it happen, and just things not working out right now, Gabe, for Simley, and it's like you said, it's so hard to kind of get a run here. It forces these guys to go and make dive bomb passes. We've seen it in the past, Gabe, to where, you know, you can't, there's not really enough banking to really dive that truck in, so you're forced to have to either outbrake your opponent or something like that to force them to the inside.
And with how close these trucks are, or at least some of them on the racetrack, it's going to be pretty much impossible to do. Update you on the race for the lead. Jamie Walker, Justin Michael. It's now to almost 1 second. Actually, go back to Scott Simley, because he's getting the runs, but he doesn't. Oh, that's say that. But he's getting the run off the corner, but he just doesn't have anywhere to go with it. By the time he gets to the back bumper of the 8 machine, he can't get to the inside. And he doesn't want to show his nose, because if he goes to the inside, there's no guarantee that Randy Yoakum will give it to him.
Yeah, that absolutely, and Yoakum can basically just kind of hog that lane at this point, Gabe, and you're not going to be able to make that pass. So if you're Scott Simley, at that point, you either maybe try a dive bomb braking maneuver, or, you know, you use the front bumper and just kind of, excuse me, I'm just going to get by here, past him as well, and just kind of bump him out of the way. So we'll see if Simley going to take it easy, maybe try and conserve the tires, but battle right behind him, it's Formosa and Dwayne Dunn going at it a little bit here. Dunn was right on the back bumper and trying to get one of those spot backs. Remember, Formosa kind of followed through Simley and Yoakum earlier on past Dwayne Dunn when he went up the track. And now Dwayne Dunn trying to fight back against the 80 truck.
Dwayne Dunn, you having a decent recovery. He fell from 4th to back to 7th. And he's got Christian Peterson starting to breathe down his neck just a little bit. But Dwayne Dunn, it looks like he may have saved his tires after getting stuck behind these guys. He's starting to get that little bit of fight back in him. So good to see him starting to work his way back through the field. You know, he hasn't started, well, I should say he hasn't started to march just yet. But, you know, he's riding the back bumper of the 80 machine, and Scott Formosa is catching Scott Simley, who's catching Randy Yoakum. So he's starting to reel these guys back in, and Randy Yoakum, haven't even talked about this, he's reeling in Bobby Terrell for 3rd.
Yeah, he is, and Yoakum has done a good job at saving his tires so far. Going to be trying to catch him up, and Yoakum, Gabe, is a driver who has had it's not been a good week for Randy Yoakum. I'll put it like that. Honestly, it's been a horrendous week for Randy Yoakum. Monday night got wrecked out at Dover. Wednesday night got spun about 3 or 4 different times in the series of Cars Tour races. So if you're Randy Yoakum, you just want a race to go your way, and a perfect opportunity tonight. Has had a fast truck so far, and for him, it's a good thing. He's not going to have to worry about too many trucks getting into him here tonight. It's been a relatively sparse field, but with that being said, Yoakum allows you to hit your marks and be able to be super consistent. Yoakum doing that right now and showing a lot of speed early.
You just happened to say that, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I equate it to one of the players from the baseball game yesterday, on Friday, I should say. Friday was yesterday, right? This week's been a blur for me, but yes, yesterday was Friday. But McCade over on the Georgetown Hoyas. I mean, you have those days, Gabe, where nothing absolutely goes right. In McCade's case, it was a case where he made 3 errors in a row, marked errors, and it basically allowed the Bulldogs to have a huge 6th inning and score 6 runs. It's kind of been the similar story for Randy Yoakum, except in the case of McCade, where he was making the mistakes, Yoakum just was getting taken out, whether it was getting spun or just getting caught up in other people's messes, and just has not had things go right for him this week, and really needs a rebound here at ISM, I think, to kind of help the onlook a little bit here.
Yeah, see, that's not what I'm talking about. You know the commentator's curse is real, yet you're tempting fate. That's what I'm worried about.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gabe. We're gonna go caution-free here. We're not gonna have a caution at all.
Back to the race, and me and Cisco's, we're going to put Cisco's rivalry there on standby for just a moment. Scott Simley reeling in Randy Yoakum yet again. And Yoakum, as I said before, Bobby Terrell starting to get a little bit bigger out that front windshield. So that's going to be something to worry about here. And catching and passing are 2 different things, especially here at ISM Raceway down the dogleg. These guys are going to have to get creative on how they pass. And I said something during the modified race just a few minutes ago. A dirt track, basically, you catch the guy, but you don't have the momentum to get past him. You back up from him, and you run the outside lane, and then you diamond it off the corner and just try and drive it out off as straight as possible. And a lot of dirt track guys use it. And, you know, that might be something these guys have to do here. As Randy Yoakum, he slaps the wall just a little bit coming off the 2.
Yeah, just a nudge there for Yoakum, and it's going to be enough to bring Simley into the picture here. Someone who's completely out of the picture by now is Jamie Walker, now 2 seconds in front of Justin Michael in that second place position. So Michael losing ground to, he was maintaining there for a while against Jamie, but just all of a sudden is kind of falling back here. So meanwhile, Terrell continuing in third, and Yoakum at least kind of holding steady on the gap panel meanwhile for 5th, and it's or 6th rather, and that's Scott Formosa on the outside with Dwayne Dunn on the inside, and then Christian Peterson in the 8th position, the 23 truck, trying to make things happen.
I talked about Christian Peterson all night. He's trying to make it 2 wide coming off the corner. He had some momentum, pretty much almost 3 wide. They were stacked up there. But Peterson, he looks like he's trying to do what I was talking about, run that outside lane, try and get a little bit of momentum working, and try and use it in your favor. He almost had the pass, well, I wouldn't say completed, but he almost had position there on the 39 machine of Dwayne Dunn. Can he get anything going this time? Runs that outside lane through 3, diamonds it down through 4. Can he get some momentum going? He's going to close in just a little bit, but looks like he's going to have to lose it coming off the corner. Simultaneous swipes against the wall. Both of them have a little bit of damage here on lap number 33.
Yeah, we're on board with Dunn when he bounced it off the wall there. Peterson going to do the same. You see a little bit of bent sheet metal on that truck, so Peterson going to have to deal with that, but shakes it off and stays in pursuit of Dwayne Dunn. And working lap number 33 right now, so clicking through. We're about a 5th of the way through this race so far. Jamie Walker continuing to lead here from ISM, and great battle going on between the 39 and the 23, and Christian Peterson kind of starting from the back here early, Gabe. Not used to seeing the 23 starting as far back as he did, but doesn't look like quite the practice hours as per usual for Christian Peterson, and as a result, he's having to work his way through this field.
Peterson didn't see him even make an attempt during practice, so he's pretty much just having to learn this racetrack. As the race continues, got a little bit of damage there from that little bit of side swipe on the outside wall. Want to update you, go a little bit farther up. Randy Yoakum has caught Bobby Terrell now to 0.3 of a second. And he's lost Scott Simley, so Simley, they're pretty much equal distance apart. Randy Yoakum's looking to change that if he catches 14.
Ooh, Peterson. Just a nudge there on Dwayne Dunn, just a little bit there to let him know he's there, but Peterson not going to be able to do anything with that one. He is not for a lack of trying, though. Peterson all over the back bumper, the 39 of Dwayne Dunn right now, and it's kind of a train here, Gabe. We have Terrell leading this whole group of about 6 trucks. It's 3 and 3, so we have a little bit of a gap right now behind the M&Ms that adore the rear bed, I should say, or the tailgate. Is that what that is? I don't own a pickup truck. Tailgate, right?
Well, the tailgate's the back of the...
Yeah. It has M&Ms on there. That's what I'm saying, because it's a Traxxas truck for the most part. I believe something similar to what Gregson runs, but... or used to run, I should say, but M&M's on the back, and then kind of those 3 trucks, and then you have Formosa, Peterson, and Dunn, who just got by Dwayne Dunn right there, so Peterson going to move up into the 7th position there, and it wasn't for a lack of trying. Used the bumper a little bit there, did Christian Peterson, up to the 7th position now. Next truck in sight for him is going to be Scott Formosa.
Closing in lap number 40 here, the 80 of Scott Formosa, that all-out machine. Trying to get all of it that he can, because Christian Peterson is coming. Peterson, you're going to have to look at the point standings here. He's on the inside, so he's pretty much good coming into tonight. He's just going to have a solid night. But with guys like Bobby Terrell, who's leading the points at the moment, Scott Simley, Scott Formosa, guys like those, he's going to just have to try and get every position he can, Cisco, because there's no comfortable position in this chase format.
Something interesting here I just noticed is apparently iRacing Live, I think, has completely broken right now, Gabe, because I went to take a look because USR was going to be on there, and they're advertising a race that didn't happen. I was supposed to go off at 8:45, that didn't happen, and a race that was supposed to have happened on May 26th in 13 days. So
we've lost it.
I think Drew broke something in the background, so I'll have to yell at him on Monday. Or actually, no, we aren't going to see him on Monday, so I'll have to send him a strongly worded email or something like that to see if we can get that fixed. But I know, Drew, there's been some talk in the background as we continue to ride here. Not a whole lot going on, so... Actually, was that Yoakum going to pit road? Yes, it is. So actually, put a pin in that. We'll come back to it later. Randy Yoakum going to hit pit road for the first time, and just up ahead of him a little ways up there, it looks like... Yep, that's the 10 of Jeff Ryan here, who just went a lap down, but Ryan also in, so 2 trucks in here on pit stops.
Michael came off pit road. He's a lap down, so he was your
look at that.
driver to hit pit road.
Hey, snuck by us there, the 87, the 511 Tactical Machine. And Michael's made his first pit stop already. 4 tires and fuel for that truck. And Jamie Walker now going to be on pit road this time. The 88 comes down. That'll surrender the lead to Bobby Terrell. But similar strategy, I think, for Jamie here, Gabe. Take 4 tires. He's got a big enough lead where it's not really any point to gamble at this point. He's been so fast so far.
Walker hits pit road. That'll leave Bobby Terrell out on the racetrack. He was running in the 3rd spot. What will the gap be between Justin Michael and Jamie Walker? Because Justin Michael completely killed his tires. He's your first car a lap down. What kind of gap is there going to be? He's already passed him to get back on the lead lap. And Jamie Walker is at the end of pit road. Left side's drop, and he is away. I think the gap is going to be a decent amount between your top 2. So Jamie Walker is going to try and get back up to speed. Going to be on the back straightaway. Jamie Walker's going to maintain pretty much supervision lead.
Yeah, Jamie Walker, a huge gap, and he's going to stay in front of Dwayne Dunn, who's on the lead lap here, but the fresh tire is going to be in play for the Mountain Dew Chevrolet. And down pit road comes Christian Peterson, slows that truck down just in the nick of time. So the 23 probably going to get some sheet metal repaired on that Peterson Irrigation Chevrolet and get it all fixed up. But Bobby Terrell, your leader now, and in command for the moment, but right there is going to be Scott Simley. We might even see the drag race down pit road, Gabe, because Simley is there, and depending on how the pit entries go, Simley could steal away the lead, or they could drag race for it down the pit straight. But as it sits right now, Bobby Terrell continuing to lead, second leader here today.
Oh, looking at it, Cisco, I was really curious as to why Justin Michael didn't get off pit road with the lead, because he should have. He was only about 2.5 seconds behind your leader, Jamie Walker. He actually had a lot of trouble getting to pit road. That's what happened. He ended up missing his pit stall and had to back up and then move forward. So that's where he lost his speed. Look at Jamie Walker making a move to get back on the lead lap all the way on the apron of the racetrack. I joked about in the pre-race, but I didn't know the 88 machine was actually going to do it.
Well, we knew he was going to be fast and diving under those 2 trucks right now, and Walker going to drive away. Moves up back onto the lead lap there. So hello, Jamie Walker. Goodbye, Jamie Walker. And as Jacob Seelman would say, Jamie Walker is doing Jamie Walker things, because he is driving away right now from Justin Michael, who has not even exited turn number 4. He will do so here to put in perspective all the way up there, and you see all the way up at the other end of the straightaway there was that little green dot. That was Jamie Walker, and we ride on board the 511 Tactical Chevrolet. And you can see Jamie Walker heading into turn 3 now. We just missed him there, but looking off from on the top, the number 87 Chevrolet. But Jamie Walker continues to lead, and we'll come to start lap number 48, waiting on about 5 trucks or so to come down pit road. Terrell, Simley, Formosa, Gillenwater, and Gabo. Those 5 still have to make a pit stop. And side by side right now between Formosa and that was Jeff Ryan, a lap down truck. Ryan running 2 laps down now. The first truck not on the regular kind of laps down cycle that we've been seeing with these guys hitting pit road. Something to take note of here, but the 80 going to come down pit road now, so Formosa deciding it's his time to come down pit road. That means only 4 trucks left out on the track.
Cisco, what did I tell you about Tim McMahon earlier?
There isn't a caution.
Unfortunately, Randy Yoakum out of tonight's race.
Do we know what happened to him? Was there an accident?
It looked like whenever he just pulled down to pit road and then just got out of the truck. So unfortunate for him, he was running in the 4th position.
Well, just like that, Randy Yoakum has been taken out of competition, or taken himself out of competition. So unfortunately for him, not going to be around here to race this evening. And Fortunately for him, I thought, Gabe, this was going to be the rebound race, but decided to park the truck early. Didn't like something he saw, or maybe just decided to park it out of futility. Not really sure what the call was out of the 8, and not able to get a word with him, and not in here with us. So unfortunately for Randy Yoakum, and then another night here for him, and we'll be looking to rebound when we come to Wednesday's weekly dirt series. That's going to be a good opportunity for him to get some revenge on the rest of the field, and hopefully that'll work out for him, but not working out tonight here at ISM. As we work lap number 51, still waiting on Terrell, Simley, and Gabo to come down pit road. Gillenwater has done so. The 80 has gone around Scott Formosa, and just like that, first caution out on the racetrack.
Looks like it was some contact between Dwayne Dunn and Scott Formosa. Dwayne just pushes up the racetrack coming off the 4. Gets into the 80 machine. He locks it down, tries to keep it off the inside wall. Not enough. He gets just coming off of turn number 4. Only collects, looks like he's the only driver. Close between he and the 5 machine at Gaboo. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he nearly got Gabo, but luckily did not, and that could have been a much worse situation there, Gabe, but we'll bring it back alive here, and Bobby Terrell now going to take the lead under caution. I mean, Jamie Walker, you know, we talked about that move, Gabe, out of desperation, but, I mean, it kept him on the lead lap, so Jamie Walker not going to have to worry about the wave around as it sits right now, but trucks heading down pit road. I would believe most of the field is going to take the opportunity to come down, take tires and gas here at ISM. Well, with that, we're going to step aside, take our first commercial break on the evening. You're watching the United Sim Racing BNC Lawn and Landscaping Truck Series, and you're home for Sim Racing LSRTV. Back in a moment.
Team racing allows multiple iRacing members to team up and race together, just like in real-world endurance series. Teammates can share driving duties, spot for one another, or be a crew chief. Team racing is free both to join a team and to create one. Each teammate races on his or her own computer from wherever they want to. Your teammates can be anywhere in the world, and changing drivers mid-race is as easy as a click of a button. iRacing features team endurance events ranging from just a couple of hours to 24 hours in length. So, if you fancy taking part in an iRacing endurance race in the future, you can learn more about team racing on the teams page on the member website.
Back live under the yellow flag here from ISM Raceway as coverage of the United Sim Racing BNC Lawn and Landscaping Truck Series continues on your home for Sim Racing LSRTV. Now we've had the chance to do a proper intro and the broadcasting software hasn't crashed immediately on us. My name is Cisco Scarmuzzo alongside Gabe Wood to bring you all the action. Lights are out on the pace car. You see only 4 trucks up there. Everybody else getting a wave around here with the caution flying right in the middle of the pit stop cycle. A bunch of trucks getting caught a lap down have now you can see them coming around the start finish line right now. Going to have to catch back up to the pace car here, Gabe, as we get set to get this thing re-green here for the first time tonight.
Yep, almost a third of the way through tonight's race. Actually, we are a third of the night, so it's going by pretty quickly here at ISM Raceway. So the 5 machine's going to be the first one to catch the field. These guys are going to be coming pretty quickly as they come out of turn number 4. Bobby Terrell's going to lead him down to the green flag. You're going to have to wait. Green flag back in the air. Here comes Jamie Walker, because Scott Simley and Bobby Terrell in the front row there. These guys are on just a little bit newer tires, actually.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out here, because we got caught in the middle of green flag pit stops. 14 in the 68 machine did not come down pit road until that caution, so it might be at a little bit of an advantage. Walker was out there for about 20 laps.
Yeah, but Walker actually, because he was on the lead lap there, Gabe, did actually come down, take tires, has been on his second pit stop here tonight so far. So Walker on the same rubber as everybody else, the newest rubber in the field at the moment. Chris Gabot in that 5 truck, because he was a lap down, was able to come down and or just take tires 1 lap later than everybody else, and got the wave around the lucky dog, as it were, to get back on the lead lap here. So battle meanwhile for second. Walker still down to the inside, trying to make things happen on Scott Simley. He'll pull even on the front straightaway, and it'll be a drag race. 3 trucks heading back towards turn number 1. The door shut on the 88 of Walker by Simley. Simley gonna apex out, holds on to that second position.
It's been the farthest back we've seen Jamie Walker all night, except for those pit stops. He had led the opening 50 laps or so, but then Bobby Terrell's been leading the way for the rest of tonight. Update on a couple of your guys. Justin Michael, he's right behind the 88 machine of Jamie Walker. The rest of these guys behind him, basically, they've had to take the wave around, and they're on the tires that they came down pit road with. So unfortunate for those guys. And quick thing, I think, who was our last driver? I believe it was Christian Peterson. It might have been Dwayne Dunn. But either way, that caution was so close to having a different outcome, because Michael was your first driver on the lead lap, or off the lead lap. He had just was about to complete the pass on Bobby Terrell. So this would be a completely different race for guys like Christian Peterson and Chris Gabu, if Michael had been able to get past Bobby Terrell before that caution came out.
Yeah, I agree here, Gabe, and as a result, you see CP's back in 6th, Dwayne Dunn's back in 7th, Gillenwater in 8th, Herring 9th, Jeff Ryan 10th. You can follow along with the full field rundown right now at the top of your screen, but Bobby Terrell doing an excellent job running away as we complete lap number 60 here, go on to lap number 61, and Michael's still fighting tough down on the bottom side, trying to get around Simley as we head through 1 and 2 again.
Walker about 1 car lead behind that muscle milk number 14 machine as they roll off into turn number 3, lap number 60. So we're already getting close to the halfway point here, Cisco, because this would put us at lap 120 at 60 more laps. So these guys going to 156. That's pretty close to a full-length race at ISM Raceway for the Truck Series, is it not?
Yeah, it is. I believe I'll have to dive into the old racing reference to cross-reference that. Reference, see what I did there. But Jamie Walker right now still sitting in that second position, hounding the back of the 14 truck of Bobby Terrell. They come off turn number 4, and this is going to be the prime opportunity for Walker and the rest of the field to make a move here before things get too spread out here, Gabe. If you don't make the move soon, you're going to have to deal with overcoming, 2-3 tenths, then eventually 4 tenths, 5 tenths, and you're going to keep open up unless you can stay with them here.
Right to the back bumper, Jamie Walker through 3 and 4. Is he going to make the pass from lead this time by? It's going to get a little bit tight coming off of turn number 4. Not going to happen at the start-finish line, so Bobby Terrell continues to lead here on lap number 64. That Mountain Dew machine trying to work that back bumper can. It looks like he's going to take a little bit low over the line through 1 and 2. That's going to be the balancing act, Cisco, as it looks like they can take out a couple of the cones down the back straightaway. And here comes Justin Michael having a good run, but he's going to have to watch those tires, because that's what bit him last time on that last run. And, oh, here we go. Battle Walker. They're going off into turn number 1. Jamie Walker to the inside. Is that going to open up the door for Justin Michael as well? They're going to battle side by side coming up 2.
Yeah, Walker down to the inside. We'll pull even with the Muscle Milk Chevrolet. Mountain Dew on the inside, Milk on the outside. Which beverage will be superior? It's going to be Mountain Dew this time out of turn 3 and 4. And the 511 Tactical Machine will pull right past Terrell as well. Terrell loses 2 spots in 1 corner, and just like that goes from 1st to 3rd. And Jamie Walker back in control here at ISM.
Back to your old running order for your top three. Jamie Walker in the lead, Justin Michael in second, Bobby Terrell in third. The only change in that now is Scott Simley in the 68 machine. He's now up into the fourth position. Your top four breaking away is Chris Gaber in the fifth position, Christian Peterson in sixth, and Bob Gillenwater battle for the sixth and seventh spot.
Yeah, 6 and 7 going at it. It's Gillenwater right behind Peterson here, and the JDRF Chevrolet going to try and make things happen now. You can see Peterson loose into turn number 1, and that allowed Gillenwater to make up all that time. Going to maybe take a look to the inside of the Peterson irrigation entry. He will do so. So it'll be a drag race between these two Chevrolets to turn number 3 this time. Peterson gets a little loose again. That truck goes up the racetrack, and trying to hold on to it is Peterson, and off turn number 4, Gillenwater gets by the 23.
More and more damage getting added to the 23 machine, the Peterson irrigation machine trying to get it back together. As you can hear, maybe the Lima, Ohio local freight coming by my window, so you might be able to hear that. But Bob Gillenwater in the 4 machine of the JDRF 4 Chevy, the 4 Chevy, he's trying to make that pass, and he gets the pass done for 6. He's now going to go after the 5.
Yeah, and the 4 starting to try and pull away a little bit, and we'll have to see if he can leave the 23 in his tire tracks here at ISM. And meanwhile, the battle up front, Walker has kind of pulled away. Justin Michael kind of sitting in the same position he was in the first part of this run here, Gabe. Kind of hang tough with him for a while, and then just eventually started losing dime to him, and Michael isn't careful and doesn't conserve his equipment. Same thing might happen here. Michael already starting to lose bit by bit to Jamie Walker, and Walker continues to open up that gap just a bit.
See, and that's the thing, you know, especially with these trucks and these NASCAR cars, or these NASCAR cars and trucks, you can be fast. You can be as fast as you want. But how fast are you on a long run? That's the kicker. Jamie Walker, you could argue Justin Michael may be faster than the 88 machine of Jamie Walker. If it comes down to a 4-lap shootout at the end, it may be a good race. But if Justin Michael does not take care of those Goodyear, I guess they're Wranglers on the truck series, but
are they
take care of those Goodyears, he's going to be in real trouble coming into every single run.
I got yelled at saying they were Wranglers and I was told that they were supposed to be Eagles. But now I don't know, because I thought they were originally Wranglers, but then someone told me they're Eagles. So I don't know what to believe, Gabe, at this point. They're Goodyear tires nonetheless.
Well, I mean, at least in ARCA, you know, they're just general. it's generic. Yes, General Tire, the newer tire sponsor to ARCA. That came at the beginning of last year, I believe. Yeah, and we still call them Hoosier.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody still calls them Hoosiers, which is what the series was formerly as far as tire compound goes, as that breath didn't work terribly well, but nonetheless starting to get spread out here. You mentioned earlier, Gabe, you talked about the race distance here. The race distance in 2017 at Phoenix was 150 laps, so we're actually going 6 more laps than what the guys in the truck series did 1 year ago.
Take that.
So these guys going for the virtual marathon here this evening, and if you aren't caught up on your truck series, close your ears really quick because spoilers incoming. All right, I think they're all gone at this point. Norik Gregson was able to go to victory lane and climb the fence over at Kansas yesterday, and great win for Mr. Gregson. Not quite the granddaddy watch that he won in Martinsville, but nonetheless, Gregson's starting to show his promise in the trucks as well, Gabe.
Oh, the granddaddy watch. Yeah, that was a great moment. I mean, Noah Gregson is a great driver, but he's just going to have to work out his personality, because there's a couple of things I've heard about him, but he is a huge talent behind the wheel. Maybe just the second coming of an Eric Jones or something like that, because he's really shown what he can do over the past few years.
Yeah, now he just needs a date at this point, because it's starting to get desperate. Take a look at his post-race interview if you want more on that. But returning to the virtual side, yeah, it was Claire Lang, and yeah, he was saying that moving on. Well, go watch the recap and go see that one. But moving back to the virtual world now, and Scott Simley starting to close in a little bit on Bobby Terrell. These two have not left each other. Meanwhile, Justin Michael, you can see the green truck starting to fade into the distance once again. Justin Michael starting to pull away as we are past halfway. just about going to go past halfway here at this point. 77 laps going to be on the board. And with that, we'll take a look at your iRacing Midway Race Break, brought to you by iRacing, the world's premier online racing game with officially sanctioned racing from the likes of NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, the Cars Tour, and many more. As we ride on board with Scott Simley, Jamie Walker continues to lead right now. Justin Michael runs second. If there was such a thing as Jamie Michael, I'd probably dominate this series. But Bobby Terrell runs third. Fourth going to go to Scott Simley, and who we're riding on right now, and Gabe. Chris Cabot running fifth.
Behind them, Bob Gillenwater in sixth, Christian Peterson in seventh, Dwayne Dunn in eighth, Steve Herring ninth, Jeff Ryan in 10th. Your rolling driver one lap down, the 11th place driver at the 80, Scott Formosa, and Randy Yoakum, as we noted, has been out and 36 laps down in 12th. So unfortunate for him. Scott Formosa is actually racing with the 98 machine of Steve Herring, who's in the 9th place spot. So, oh, he's going to hit the outside wall going into turn number 3. That car is out of control since he hit it a couple of laps ago under that caution. So unfortunate for a driver who we thought was going to have a fair shot at the top 5.
Yeah, Formosa, not the night that he was looking for. But that was a look at your iRacing Midway Race Break. For more information on the wide variety of sim racing possibilities online, you can visit iRacing.com to sign up today. And if you head over to iRacing.com/membership, plenty of deals there to get you on the sim. 3 months for $5 and a whole bunch of everything else there. That's iRacing.com/membership. But lap number 80 working right now, and still going to go back to this battle between Simley and Terrell at the moment, Gabe, because they haven't been able to leave each other, and Simley's been slowly closing that gap on the Muscle Milk Chevrolet.
That's what we saw early in the race, except with Randy Yoakum against Big Terrell. A lot of these guys, it's an ebb and flow. I mean, they kind of just pull out from each other a little bit in the early starts of a run. Then you can kind of see who starts riddling each other and who's just taking care of their tires. And Justin Michael just looks like he is not able to hang on. He's having to push to even try and work up a gap, but then once he does get that gap, the car just starts to fall off a cliff, and you get guys like Bobby Terrell and Scott Simley who are catching him.
As I'm hearing possibly O's and oohs from the Cup race here. Going to be interested to see what's going on there, but something to note. Oh, was it? Oh. We'll
update you later, as we're still commentating here. Jamie Walker continuing to pull away. I'll let you take a look at it here, as I will take care of it. Let me know whenever you're back. Jamie Walker continuing to lead over Justin Michael, Bobby Terrell, and Scott Simley. Their top 4 there on the newer tires. Behind them, Bob Gillenwater, he's in 5th, but he's just nowhere near anybody else. Chris Gibu in the 5th place machine. He's now getting passed by Christian Peterson for the 6th spot. So Peterson moves to the inside. That beat-up machine still has some speed under it, and he's going to get clear here on lap number 83.
Yeah, and Gabe, just getting back here, just took a look at what happened over in Kansas, and that was a nasty wreck involving the 24 of William Byron. Almost went up and over. Well, yeah, but this is happening right now, so massive wreck. Yeah, spoilers incoming, but William Byron going up and over in Kansas, a massive wreck involving a bunch of cars. So we hope everybody's going to be okay over there in Kansas. But like you were saying, Gabe, this battle continuing on here.
Bobby Terrell and Scott Simley, they're going to continue to battle here for this run, or for this 3rd place position here on lap number 85, past the halfway point.
Looks like Jeff Ryan just came down pit road again here, Gabe, so we may be getting into the pit window. Formosa also down.
Yep, and that would pretty much line up with what you guys have been doing, because I believe Jamie Walker came down about lap 40 to 45 last time. I'm going to have to take a look at it. Looks like he came down lap 42, so yeah, that would make sense for that 88 machine and for the rest of the field.
Yeah, so pit window starting to open up here, and Simley now all over the back bumper of Terrell as they head back to turn number 1 and 2, but not quite able to do anything. And once again, in the case, Gabe, where we know that 68 is faster, but so hard to pass here at Phoenix, it's going to either have to, like you said, that kind of dirt tracker mentality of diamonding the corner and trying to find speed where he's not, or maybe something else to get the 14 out of your way to move Scott Simley up into that 3rd place position, but lost a lot of time out of turn number 4 there.
Simley coming back there. That tracks is Eminem's machine coming off of her number 2. It looks like that car is now just starting to get tighter and tighter, Cisco. I think it's one of those deals where you just start heating those tires up. Eventually, they just fall off a cliff to where you cannot regain that grip. I've seen it multiple times in late model. When you start pushing in the Supers here on Wednesday night, you start pushing, you'll get faster, but eventually those tires will just fall off a cliff, lose all their grip, and there's no way to get it back.
And it doesn't help that this is one of the heaviest vehicles that NASCAR races currently. One of the heaviest NASCARs, to irritate all the fanboys. This NASCAR is definitely one of the heaviest.
And it's also got the aerodynamics of a brick.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you're not looking for any aerodynamic grip either.
No, you aren't, and it's going to force these guys to have to conserve their tires a little more. And what we're looking at on track right now, the flat truth is Jamie Walker's just been able to hold on to those tires more because he's opened up about a 3-second gap now on Justin Michael, Gabe. So, I mean, it hasn't been for lack of trying from the 87, the 14, the rest of these guys. Walker's just faster. He's just faster.
Now, will Justin Michael try the same thing he did last time and hope that he doesn't miss his stall? Because it might work, but he lost a lot of time getting behind Jamie Walker. You know, he's losing. He just lost 3/10 that lap. So Jamie Walker's doing a great job. He saved us tires, and it's really paying off for him now. Justin Michael's got to do something here because he's got Bobby Terrell also breathing down his neck. If I was him, I'd come down pit road pretty soon because you'd have to just alleviate the time that you are losing.
Yeah, or at this point, if you're Justin Michael, you might have to start looking in the mirror, Gabe, because that was another chunk gone, and you could see the 87 getting bigger and bigger in the front window of Bobby Terrell, who's quickly closing in on that 511 Tactical Chevrolet. And you can see Michael, that truck looking very tight at the moment, and knocks a couple cones down there. But Michael, I think, is going to have to start worrying about Terrell before he has to worry about Walker anytime soon.
Update for the 5th position. Christian Peterson now moves up into the top 5 past Bob Gillenwater in the 4 machine. That pass was just made through turns 1 and 2, I believe. Going to go back and look at it. It was made actually on the front straightaway 2 laps ago. Peterson did one heck of a job just powering down to the inside, slid up in front of the 4 machine, and was able to just power away from him. But I don't think Bob Gillenwater is going to let it go too quickly. And I mean, to be honest, this is kind of the best of the rest because these guys are on older tires because they did not have the opportunity to come down pit road with the waiver round. They did not get the lucky dog, so they couldn't come to pit road. I'm genuinely surprised with how much they haven't fallen off. As we got Steve Herring, he's actually coming off pit road at the moment. But these guys haven't fallen off. They're only 10 and 11 seconds behind. That's actually not bad considering how far off the tires are.
Yeah, to put in perspective, CP is on 49-lap-old tires versus Scott Simley with 40-lap tires. And last time by the start-finish line, Christian Peterson ran a 28.821. And just like that, actually, pit stop's going to open here. CP going to give up that position to come down pit road. But he was actually running comparable times to Michael, Terrell, and Simley here. So CP, some speed under that 23, going to take the short pit strategy now. As Jeff Ryan, who's come off pit road at this point, now getting passed by Justin Michael, who's deciding now's going to be the time for him to come down pit road. So strategy play going to be in play here for the driver of the 87.
So yet again, he takes the initiative, goes to pit road. He's the first driver inside the top 5 to come to pit road. The question is, does Bob Terrell come down pit road? Because he had almost caught him. And you know, he's going to have to alleviate the time that he's going to lose to the 87 machine. Or does he pull the same pit strategy he tried last time and just stay out for an extra 20 laps and hope another caution comes out?
We'll just have to see. Scott Simley, meanwhile, trying to make something happen in third. This battle's been going for almost as long as this entire run, and it just hasn't been the case where Simley's been faster but hasn't been able to get by Terrell, and now that gap has opened up just a little bit here, but Juice's 2 closest trucks on track is Justin Michael pulling off pit road at this point. It looks like a fairly clean stop from up here, Gabe. And yeah, just looking at the time on pit road, he looks like he's good to go, and it didn't look like he had too much trouble with pit road at all. So maybe the strategy might pay off here for Justin Michael, as Jamie Walker still hasn't come down pit road quite yet.
Jamie Walker Walker continuing to make laps here. 5.2 seconds the gap between he and Bobby Terrell. 5 cars still in the lead lap. Now, this will put Justin Michael into the lead if he didn't make any mistakes coming to pit road and getting into his pit stall, Cisco. But here's the thing to worry about. If you're Jamie Walker, you're going to have to make one more stop after this, more than likely, possibly. We're going to have to wait and see. And if he doesn't, Justin Michael's going to for sure have to make a pit stop. Now, that's going to pretty much screw over the 87 of Justin Michael for trying to make a 2 pit stop race at the end of this thing. But Jamie Walker is going to be on older tires for the rest of the night. How does that balance out? What strategy would you personally want to be on?
Honestly, I want to take I want to make 2 pit stops even if I am Jamie Walker here, Gabe. Just for me, there's no sense in trying to risk it. You know you have a faster truck than Michael. Why risk it by throwing it away on old tires or something unless you really think you're going to gain that much time? So Walker going to stay out here. So I'd have to agree with you, Gabe. It looks like he's going to go for the one-stop strategy, and just, I don't know if it's just worth risking it like that and, you know, putting it all out on the line. But apparently the other 5 drivers still out there. Chris Cabot running 5th, Bob Gillenwater in 4th, Scott Simley in 3rd, Bobby Terrell in 2nd, and Jamie Walker in 1st, electing to make that call. So those 5 staying out. So we continue to lap here at ISM Raceway, just coming to complete lap number 156 laps to go here from Avondale, Arizona. We're going to take our final commercial break. You'll be right back here on LSRTV, your home for sim racing. You're watching the USR BNC Lawn and Landscaping Truck Series. Back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Ryan Priest. I'm driving the number 20 JGR Toyota Xfinity car this weekend. Really great opportunity here at New Hampshire at my home track. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been on iRacing, practicing a little bit here and there with the modified and the NASCAR Xfinity car. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great tool for me to kind of get used to that stock car body again and be prepared for the race today. Well, yeah, it's a mile long, so the draft kind of plays into effect here with the modifieds. Punches a big hole in the air, and we run restrictor plates. So it makes a big difference. Just really fast, and it's our Daytona. So that's what's great about it, and we have a fast car for tomorrow. I think the biggest thing is they're heavier cars. The tire's a lot different, and the way you go about setting them up's a lot different. They use all 4 tires more than a modified, where we typically drive off the right rear, you know, so. Well, actually, it's funny. I raced NASCAR race in 2003 before iRacing came about. And then when iRacing came about, my friend Kevin Iannarelli, who works at iRacing, kind of told me, hey man, you need to switch over to this. And when I did, I was like, oh my God, this is like real life. So I started using it as a tool of mine to really prepare for modified races, whether it was Stafford or Thompson or Loudon, Bristol. And then obviously the Xfinity Series last year, going to road courses, trying to get laps, and use it as a tool that can get me as prepared as I could be without actually doing it. So it's been great.
Back live here on LSRTV, your home for sim racing, and it was a battle down pit road between the 14 and the 68. We'll take one more look at that here, Gabe. Pull up the LSRTV replay because it was a interesting battle these two had been going at, and I kind of joked earlier that I said, oh, you know, they could battle down pit road if they wanted, and well, that's precisely what they did. Those two came in. Jamie Walker's already been down pit road, so the two-stop strategy in effect here. But yeah, look at that drag race down pit road, and Terrell had to get on the binders there, and as a result pulled even with Simley for a bit there, but a great battle down pit road.
And Cisco, just to look at how much these tires aren't really falling off, Justin Michael was on new tires for what, the better part of 10 to 15 laps, and he is only 2 seconds flat in front. He's now just passed these guys for the lead, but he's only 2 seconds in front of Jamie Walker. So if he's going to make this strategy work, he's going to have to get on the gas pedal and get on it hard and just pull away from him, or at least try and alleviate that gap, and then come down for another pit stop.
Yeah, I will, Gabe, as you rejoin us here. About less than 50 to go here from ISM Raceway. Cisco Scaramouza along with Gabe Wood to bring you all the action, and it'll be a little bit of cleanup here on the background on my end as a glass of water went flying through the air and just by itself knocked itself over all over my keyboard. Definitely had nothing to do with me at all. So, well, cleanup proceeding here and at Kansas as well. Gabe, at this moment, if you're Jamie Walker, it's buckle down and just fly the rest of the way.
And already back down to 1.5 seconds. So, and how hard does Justin Michael race Jamie Walker? He pretty much knows he's going to have to make another pit stop, or he's just going to have to ride it out in second. You know, how hard do you race? And also, side note, Christian Peterson, he's up to 4th and getting overtaken actually for the 5th position. But still, he's caught these guys. He was about, what, 5 to 6 seconds?
Yeah, something like that.
Top 4. So he's caught a ton by pitting a little bit early. But still a good job from Christian Peterson up to 5th.
Yeah, no, CP has done a great job. He was kind of towards the back, the Martinsville winner, trying to rebound here, and has been doing so, has been showing signs of speed. I'm just not sure it's enough speed to get up to the leaders, so we'll have to see how that pans out. But the gap at the line, just over 1 second, Gabe. It was 1.16 there at the line, and is, or 1.16, I should say, and continuing to fall as Jamie Walker is hounding Justin Michael here with not a whole lot of laps left to go.
Yeah, that time was 1.142. What's it going to be this time as they come out of turn number 4? Into the front straightaway here at ISM Raceway. Next car to go a lap down. Looks like it's the 5 machine. As they come down the front straightaway, 0.859. So he's caught him by 0.4 of a second in 1 lap. That's just the difference on these tires, and Jamie Walker on brand new sets. You gotta hate it for Justin Michael. He is driving his heart out, but it's just not going to be enough, at least for the time being. And apparently Cisco's still cleaning his keyboard.
We ran out of paper towels. I had to go get more. I'm sorry. This is Exxon Valdez level of bad. So
this is what happens whenever Cisco has to clean, or has to operate the keyboard, operate the camera controls, and compensate at the same time. So if you'd like a job at LSRTV,
please write to us at, yes, Cisco, you don't have to keep dumping water on your table, London Wood Lane, W1270S, or wherever we are.
How'd I know you'd pull the Top Gear reference?
Hey, I had to do it somehow.
Anyway, 40 laps to go here.
4 laps to go.
It's a long night with 12 cars, excuse me. But still, having fun here here in Phoenix. These guys are doing a good job of holding on to it. 1 caution so far, and they've put on some good racing. You know, they haven't been able to use that dog leg on the back straightaway like we've noted a couple times early. But they found ways to kind of get around each other. They found ways to race, and we're about to have a battle for the lead here in the next few laps. But Jamie Walker, he's caught him yet again, now down to under half a second.
Yeah, and Jamie has just been on fire this last run, despite, you know, despite Michael, you know, having the better tires. It didn't last for long, and Walker, just like that, as we come to 40 laps to go, gonna be right back on the bumper. And if you're Justin Michael at this point, Gabe, things aren't looking great for you unless you've been sandbagging and saving. This is a tall order for Michael here.
It's cones go flying on the back straightaway. Somebody tweet at the orange cone. His family has been massacred. Bobby Terrell on the 14 machine, he's actually catching both these guys. It's now down from about 12.8 seconds whenever they came off pit road to now 10.29 as they come into turns 3 and 4. Jamie Walker has actually been legged out a little bit. Justin Michael, I think he had to brake to let all those cones by. But it's now back to just under half a second. So Justin Michael's starting to pull away a little bit. Bobby Terrell's inching ever closer. It's not going to be enough, I don't think. But he is faster than both these guys.
Do you think maybe Justin Michael may have been planning a one-stop strategy, Gabe, and just is trying to save fuel at this point? The way he kind of drove away from Jamie kind of indicates to me a little bit of that.
I don't know, it'll just, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to figure this out here because Jamie Walker was catching him. He caught him from 2 seconds back. Now it's Jamie Walker trying to save fuel and trying to make it to the end.
That actually might be what I'm thinking. That might be the answer there, Gabe, because Jamie trying to one-stop this, going to be very critical to make sure he hits his fuel number. Does not want to run out and throw this whole race away, a race that he has commanded today here from ISM Raceway. To have it end the wrong way just based on fuel strategy would be a heartbreaker for the 88.
Jamie Walker's had those races, I believe, early part of the year last year. He just led all the laps and just was never able to get closing in at the finish. You'd hate to say it, but this might be one of those races if they continue running where they are. Because Justin Michael, he's able to control this race with... Justin Michael is really the one that's going to be in danger. I don't see him making it to the end. He was out on the racetrack about 15 laps more than Jamie Walker was. If Jamie Walker can't make it, Justin Michael sure as heck can't make it. So that's going to be the one thing to look out for. The one person I am looking out for, though, is Bobby Terrell. If both those guys don't make it, he may be sitting in a catbird seat.
Yeah, he's been saving Gabe, and alongside the driver who has been alongside him all night long, Scott Simley, those two continuing to run nose to tail and back in third and fourth at the moment. But yeah, I agree. If things go wrong for your top two, it's going to be those next two going to be able to inherit and maybe battle amongst themselves. But I think we have to agree, Gabe, if Walker was on full 100% as Michael nearly gets up into the wall, and just like that, we have a battle for the lead on our hands. Walker is there.
That's going to be the mistake. Does Jamie Walker have the car now in the field to pounce and take the lead? Closing in 30 laps to go here in just a few laps. Lap number 123. Still 7 cars in lead. Lap 10 cars out on the racetrack. Scott Formosa and Randy Yoakum have called it quits for the night. And Jeff Ryan rounding out your top 10 there in the 10 machine. Now 2/10 the gap. What's it going to be this time? It's actually legged out a little bit. So that's, Cisco, that's what I'm thinking. And you can kind of see it with Jamie Walker washing high. Is he just clutching it and letting the car roll into the corner?
I'd have to think, because when you look at the best times and the times the way they are, Walker's been running very consistent lap times to what Justin Michael is. So, and considering Walker has fresher tires and has lately had the better car than Michael on the longer runs, this just looks to me like Walker's saving fuel, because otherwise I think he would be past the 87.
Gap that time went back down, so does maybe Jamie Walker think he has enough fuel here? Just going to have to wait and see. Update you, a couple of guys back in the pack while this battle for the lead is brewing. Bobby Terrell, Scott Simley still riding nose to tail. It's got to be killing Scott Simley to just be riding behind the 14 machine, not gaining, not losing, just riding, holding station right behind the 14 machine.
Yeah, it has been not quite as adventurous a night for Bobby Terrell and Scott Simley as I think they wanted. It's been more like, what was the turn of phrase I heard the other day? It's been like just a regular bank account average increase income over something like Bitcoin. Wow, that was a terrible metaphor now that I think about it. So
we're just gonna move on from this, Justin.
I'll look that metaphor up so it makes a lot more sense for next time. I just don't remember what it was.
Cisco, you're trying to be clever. It doesn't work for you. Anyway, Justin, but we're starting to lose it here. This is what happens when me and Cisco are the ones left alone with the USR Truck Series. So, you know, gap's starting to go out again. Jamie Walker caught him. He was under 0.2 of a second. Now as they start to roll into turns number 1 and 2 for the start-finish line, that's last time, it's back to just under 0.3 of a second. So Jamie Walker just holding station, the same with Scott Simley and Bobby Terrell, just not gaining, not losing. The problem is, Justin Michael, I don't think he can make it to the end here, Cisco, and we're going to find out here in the next few laps. Also, we talked about Christian Peterson. He has now come down pit road, I believe, because he was up there fighting with these guys for the top 5 spot, and now he's a lap down in 9th.
The CP falling down the field very quickly, and yeah, so he's all the way back in 9th, nearly the last truck out there. Only Jeff Ryan's still out there behind him. Scott Formosa has come down pit road and called it a day, sitting in the pit box, and like we documented earlier, Randy Yoakum out as well. But the battle for the lead, now it's on. Walker turned up the wick just a little bit, put some pressure on Justin Michael, and I don't think that 87's got enough fuel, Gabe, but it's not for a lack of trying at this point, as it's going to be 36 laps to go, or 26 laps to go when we get to the start-finish line here for Justin Michael.
Now under 1.15 a tenth. Sorry, excuse me, get numbers mixed up here. Just under a tenth now, back to 0.3 of a second. So it's just fluctuating now. It's not holding station. It's not getting big. It's working back and forth. I mean, Jamie Walker pitches him, gets to the back bumper, and then just lets off. And I think he might know. If you can kind of see how much fuel you have left, you can kind of pretty much guess. I don't even have to pass.
Yep, there he goes.
Yep, Justin Michael goes to pit road. He's going to relinquish the lead here on lap number 131. That's going to put him to pit road. That's also going to put him possibly 1 lap down. Cisco, that's the one thing. If we get a caution in the next, few laps or so, and Justin Michael's still on the lead lap, and if we get a caution toward the end of the race and Justin Michael's on older tires, does he even come back to pit road, or does he try and gamble and take the lead?
At this point, Gabe, I don't know Terrell or Michael rather. I think if a caution were to come out, that would, I think, do more for Jamie Walker than it would for Justin Michael. But at this point, it's just, you're kind of screwed 6 ways from Sunday if you're Justin Michael. I mean, you're leaving right now. You're 8th overall. The leader's probably not coming back down pit road, so you got to get past Steve Herring, who's just further afoot than what you would like, and just going to be it's about 3 seconds between Michael and Herring. That shouldn't be too bad. 9 seconds, or rather 15 seconds, I should say, up to Chris Cabot. So Michael has a long road to hoe here. It's going to be a long night for him to work his way back up, assuming other drivers also aren't going to be coming down pit road, but I think we're going to see several of them do so.
Look at the gap. Bobby Terrell now under 6 seconds. The gap between he and Jamie Walker. That's going to be the next thing to look out for here, Cisco. 20 laps to go. We're closing in on it. As Bobby Terrell's now getting passed by Justin Michael, who is now a lap down. Michael's going to be rocketing through this field. From what I've seen, Cisco, it's just going down by a tenth a lap. Oh, it's the 98 machine. He comes down off the wall, almost gets into the guys trying to pass him. It's going to be one heck of a battle for the lead if the 14 machine ends up taking the lead, because the 88 doesn't have enough fuel, but Jamie Walker has enough time. He's got almost 6 seconds to just kind of let off and let the fuel come back to him.
Yeah, that's a lot of time you're going to be able to save there and save gas. So Jamie Walker, I think at least it seems like it's been possible, but Gabe, we won't know until that white flag whether or not it'll have worked for Jamie Walker here. But judging by the body language from the trucks, it seems as though whatever the route's going to be, he's committed to this one, Gabe. Wants to try this run this out on this tank of fuel. 20 laps left to go for the driver of the 88.
What's the gap going to be this time? 5.5. So here comes Bobby Terrell. He's catching. Problem is, Bobby Terrell's exiting turn number 2. Jamie Walker is now entering turn number 3. So there's a bit of a gap between your top 2. If Jamie Walker can save enough fuel to make it to the end, he will lead in majority of tonight's race. I think barring pit stops, he's been out front for pretty much the entirety.
He's led about 84 laps here tonight, so it has been a monumental effort from the driver of the 88, but not quite out of the books yet. Still got plenty of racing action left to go. Lap number 138 we work now. The gap now down to 5.2. If I'm doing my math here, Gabe, it's going to have to come down a little bit more than that per lap if Terrell's going to be able to get back to him.
Moving on to lap number 139. Bobby Terrell, what's the gap going to be this time? By 5.3, yet another 10th. But yeah, as you said, it's not going to be enough. This is going to bring into this equation. If Bobby Terrell recognizes that he's catching him, if he starts pushing, does that put Scott Simley into the mix as well? Because if these guys start racing side by side, that's going to pretty much guarantee the victory for Jamie Walker. That's going to be the only variable in the situation, other than the fact, does Jamie Walker have enough fuel? Yeah,
I think Scott Simley is sitting in a very interesting situation right now, because if Bobby Terrell obviously has gone and set sail towards Jamie Walker, if you're Scott Simley, you know, you can go after Bobby Terrell, but if you two who are on the same, literally the same strategy, by the way, they came down at the same time on pit road. So if you're still not sure about fuel, it's probably safe to say that if Bobby Terrell is burning the fuel off that truck, it might be worth kind of laying back, Gabe, and seeing if the 14 runs out, because the race might fall to you. So that's the big question right now, is 15 laps to go here when we get to the start-finish line.
4.4 now the gap between your top twos.
Is it so close, Gabe? Because the gaps haven't been falling in a uniform way. It's been kind of, you know, 3/10, then maybe 5/10, then back to 2/10, kind of all over the place. We'll just have to see how it updates. But as it sits right now, I think Terrell, if he's not close to max attack at this point, trying to give that truck everything it's got, he does, for the record, does have about 4 laps fresher tires than Walker does, but we've seen Walker been able to conserve the tires fantastically tonight.
And when I update you, this pretty much confirms your top 4 for the championship, because the only variable tonight is Scott Formosa. Could he come into the championship 4? But unfortunately, he is now out of tonight's race. He's been for the past 58 laps. Seth the Merchant did not even compete tonight, so that pretty much locks everybody up. And, oh, by the way, Justin Michael back on the lead lap, now up inside the top 5, making a pass on the 5 machine at Chris Kibu.
Yeah, we just caught that, Michael making that pass, so back into the top 5. Bob Gillenwater, meanwhile, the next driver up for him, basically on the other side of the racetrack. So as the 87 went through turns 1 and 2, Gillenwater was in 3 and 4. So Gillenwater trying to hold them all at bay, but Justin Michael trying to track everybody down. It's about a 12-13 second gap there for him, but Bobby Terrell trying to track down Jamie Walker here. The gap at last time at the last sector was 3.99, so it is coming down, Gabe, but I don't think that's quick enough.
Jamie Walker, this is the parallel, the 2 seasons these guys have had. Bobby Terrell has made 1 less start than Jamie Walker. Jamie Walker's won 5 races, but is 3rd in the championship. Bobby Terrell has yet to win a race, but he is 1st in the championship point standing. So that's pretty much a parallel of the seasons these two have had. Pretty much the same exact number of points. Problem is, Jamie Walker's been pretty much dominant in a lot of them. But Bobby has just found a way to point these guys to death. And it looks like it's going to be the same deal here. It looks like the gap is now under 4 seconds, so it's going down. But Cisco, he's going to need a caution.
Yeah, he's going to need a caution, Gabe. It was only about a 10th he picked up last time by. So, going to need almost, yeah, like you said, a caution or a miracle at this point. Or for the 88 to run out of fuel. I mean, that is also on the table here as we come to start 10 laps to go. It's going to be 54, going to be the number here for Jamie Walker that he has to hit on this fuel stint. 54 laps he would need to go. A very, very tall order.
Now 10 laps to go. 3.7 seconds gap between Jamie Walker and Bobby Terrell. Scott Simley hanging in there, but the problem is he's 0.5 of a second back. Justin Michael continuing to inch on, just scratch off just a little bit more of the lead of the guys in front of him. Problem is there's nobody else even anywhere near him that he can catch. Bob Gillenwater is 11 seconds up the road, so he's not going to be able to catch him by the end of tonight's race. cutoff that these guys are looking for, especially Jamie Walker. Has 5 laps to go. He's looking for it, because if we get a caution within 5 laps to go, the race is over.
Yeah, and Justin Michael's been running some of his fastest laps all day. Just ran a 28.344, only a 10th off the fastest lap he's had all day. So if you're Justin Michael, it's got to be frustrating. You know that truck's been fast all day, Gabe, and fortunately for him, it's not going to pay off until right at the end. He's going to need it to get past Bob Gillenwater. But apart from that, as the orange cone goes flying, fortunately for him, wrong place, wrong time, and it's not going to pay out for Justin Michael. Walker comes through turn number 4 and going to start lap number 50 here at ISM Raceway, and running out of time. If you're Bobby Terrell, you have got to go, and you have got to go now. Even if you're not sure on fuel, if you're not going to make it on fuel, if you have any shot at the leader, it's either going to be him running out or it's going to be you catching him. Which one do you want it to be, Gabe? Do you want to, put your faith in the 88's fuel guys, or you hoping that, or at this point, are you just not going to be able to push it? What if you're sitting in Terrell's shoes? What do you do here, Gabe?
I think you pretty much put your priorities on Scott Simley, keeping him behind you, because you've just been slowly itching off this lead. Problem is, you're not going to make up 3.3 seconds in 5 laps, as we're going to get 5 laps to go this time by. You're not going to make that up in 5 laps. Unfortunately, Bobby Terrell, his shot at the victory tonight might be gone, but his run for the championship is just starting, because he, Jamie Walker, Scott Simley, and Christian Peterson are going to battle it out in Homestead.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 laps to go for Jamie Walker. And who's it going to be? Is it going to be Jamie Walker going to be holding out the rest of the fuel? Will it work for that truck? He's had all day to save, Gabe. He's still got about 3 seconds back to second, so even more left in it for Walker. Meanwhile, the Justin Michael anger management show right now, trying to track down Bob Gillenwater. He's been closing the gap, but it's still about 10 seconds back to Bob Gillenwater. So Justin Michael, not for lack of trying, but some gaps are just too big to overcome, and I think Michael gotta be kind of feeling a little just ticked off the fact that the strategy did not go his way at all.
But what can you do? I mean, he's just fighting for wins at this point, Cisco, and he's not going to be in the fight for the championship. I would do it. I'd do it as well. Just try this two-stop strategy. If he had maybe 20 to 30 more laps, if this has been maybe the B cars, he may have had a shot at this. But the problem, it's just the way Jamie Walker was and the way Jamie Walker was driving it. Justin Michael just could not get the tires under him for the majority of this race. And unfortunately, it's going to lead to Jamie Walker walking away with his victory.
Yeah, absolutely. As they come around turn number 4, 2 laps to go for Jamie Walker. The field continuing to hold for the Mountain Dew Chevrolet. And he only has 2 more circuits here at ISM Raceway before he brings it across the start-finish line and wins. And off turn number 1 this time. Truck still under power and everything looking good for him. Terrell, about 3 seconds still, kind of the gap there. 2.9 last sector, 2.8 now. It's just not going to be enough. Simley also not really in striking range at all to deal with Bobby Terrell. So with that, Terrell will come across the start-finish line. White flag in the air. And it's all wrapping up for Jamie Walker. Just needs enough power to get him through turn 4.
White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. The 5 machine is the only car in striking distance. That's a lap machine. The 88 Jamie Walker not even going to try and mess with him. He rolls into 3 and 4. He can coast it from here. 2.8 seconds the gap. Coming off of turn number 4, he gets the win tonight. He's going to hope for one a week from now. Jamie Walker is going to race for the championship after his win here at ISM Raceway. Bobby Terrell and Scott Simley finish 2nd and 3rd. They will also fight for the championship. Bob Gillenwater comes away with a top 5. Justin Michael comes home in 5th. Chris Gibbon in 6th as he rounds the bag straightaway. And Christian Peterson comes down into the 7th position. He's going to be able to fight for the championship in Homestead.
Dwayne Dunn is 8th right now. He's going to power down the truck, another truck lap down there. Steve Herring going to finish 9th. Jeff Ryan going to finish 10th. 11th, Scott Formosa, who's been on pit road. And Randy Yoakum going to finish. That hauler has already left here at ISM Raceway. But Jamie Walker going to come to the front stretch here and burn it down for all the fans. With that, we're going to step aside here and get to talk to our top 3 before the night is over. You're watching the United Sim Racing BNC Lawn and Landscaping Truck Series on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Back in a moment here from Avondale.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSRTV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of Live Sim Racing LLC and iRacing.com Motorsport Simulations. LSRTV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.
Back live here at ISM Raceway, Cisco Scaramuza alongside Gabe Wood as we're going to get the LSRTV post-race show kicked off here and going to have the opportunity to talk to our winner. And Gabe's caught up with him down on Victory Lane, and it's Jamie Walker.
Well, it took some huffing and puffing from Jamie Walker and the Mountain Dew crew, but coming across the start-finish line on fumes, you bring it home, Jamie. Congratulations.
It was like stepping on eggshells the whole last run. I thank God for made it to the end there.
Yeah, because we were talking about that. Justin Michael had to make another pit stop, and we were sure if you couldn't make it, he could not for sure make it. So it just goes to show how low on fuel the 87 machine was. Were you at all worried about his strategy at all? Because he was making a two-stop strategy to in the race. It almost worked out for him. He was able to catch you guys by about 13 to 14 seconds. If he had had more time, it might have worked out, but what do you think?
Well, if he had more time, I would have been out of fuel. Me and him talked about it that first stint. Me and him pitted kind of early, and we noticed that Bobby and Scott there, they stayed out. And we kind of figured, we were screwed if that caution didn't come out. So we kind of played by strategy. I stretched that one more run as far as I could before I made that last run.
Well, with the victory tonight, you'll walk away with it. Was there anything that you were doing different? You said you were talking to Justin Michael. Is it just saving the tires, or were you just driving the track differently?
He was actually asking what I was doing, why I was so much more fast than he was. But no, when he took the lead there in that last stint, I told him, don't rush yourself. I'm going to stay behind you and save as much as I can. Don't worry about me. No pressure. And then I was able to just to do just enough.
Well, Jamie, you're fighting for the championship with the other 3 drivers. What are you going to have to do to Homestead other than win? You got a lot of guys up here. They're going to be very competitive. What do you think it's going to take to walk away with the cup?
Most likely it's going to take a win because the level of competition with the guys that we're racing against, I mean, it's going to take a win between the 3 of us to get the championship.
All right, Jamie, well, congratulations. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Well, of course, got to thank you guys up here in the booth. You do an awesome job. Everybody down at Young Guns Motorsports, we work hard throughout the week. And USR, they put on a great show. I know the show hasn't been great the last couple of weeks. I'm hoping some new attention will be brought to it, but we're doing what we can to get the fans back in here.
All right, Jamie, yet again, congratulations. Dominant form for Jamie Walker in the 88 machine. And now Cisco's caught up with the 14 machine, the driver of Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, I have been catching up with Terrell down here on pit road, and it was a Bobby Terrell kind of night, it seems like. But Bobby, it didn't quite work out for you the way it wanted, and it all came down to pit strategy. And one thing to note, though, was you and Scott Simley were basically birds together that flock together, saying along that line, because you two couldn't basically get away from each other. You even came down pit road together. But talk us through that race for you.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that caution hadn't come out because I think that would have changed everything. But, I knew I could make it on 2 stops or whatever it come out to be. And I figured they would have to make 3 pitting so early. And there's no way they could have made up that much track position. So, me and Scott had it figured out. We were sitting, and it come down to me and him, and we'd race it out. And then that caution come out, and that kind of threw a wrench in everything. And then, Jamie, I thought for sure he'd run out of fuel because whatever he pitted with 54, 55 to go, I just didn't really figure he would make it. But he did. Proved us wrong.
And it will be a second place finish for you, but you came into tonight the points leader, and we'll have a shot at racing for the championship with the other 2 drivers at Homestead. What are your thoughts kind of going into that race? Any game plans right now?
No, I mean, Homestead's always been a good track for me, so we'll see how it plays out. It may turn into fuel mileage, who knows, but I really like that track, and it's always, it's been good to me in the past. I have a good flow there, so hopefully it will work out, and I will be in victory lane.
Well, before we let you go, Bobby, sponsors, shout-outs. Who gets it done for you in the 14 team?
I'd like to thank my teammate first, Scott Simley. Like I said, me and him work good together, and then LSRTV, what you guys do, and B&C Lawn and Care for putting this on. And USR and all the admins for doing it, and all the drivers that have stuck it out.
Absolutely. Bobby Terrell will be fighting for a championship at Homestead. Bobby, congratulations. We'll see you there in 1 week's time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And we'll pass the mic down, see if I can catch up with Scott Simley, the driver who finished third. And we are catching up with the driver of the Traxxas Toyota down here on pit road. And Scott, similar story to what I was talking about with Bobby Terrell. You two were kind of twins for that second half of the race there. Walk us through it, man. What was it like out there?
Yeah, we're pretty much on the same strategy. From the beginning of the race, you couldn't drive it really hard because you'd run out of fuel. But if you just took it easy and ran laps, it seemed like it was right there on fuel mileage. So that was the strategy, is to just kind of take it easy. Run the 1-stop race or 2-stop race and come out there in the end and just let it fall where it may. And then when the caution actually did come out, that was right when we were going to pit. So back to the same strategy even after the caution. So just being conservative, and with the penalty, I guess, to Seth last week, was able to open a spot, I guess, and for me to make it. And just pretty excited about that, and have a chance for it. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, so four drivers at Homestead, and you have the opportunity. Jamie Walker, Christian Peterson, Bobby Terrell, your opponents, as it were. Strategies going into that race?
It's going to be tough. I mean, Christian's tough. Bobby, he's basically my teammate. We're always around each other. He's probably more ahead of me at times than I'm ahead of him, obviously, just a little bit faster. Jamie, he's always fast. So, I mean, it's tough, but you just got to be there. I mean, you just got to have a chance to make the last race. And as long as you're in there, anything can happen. A little bobble here, shake there, and three of us could get damaged, and you just never know.
Well, Scott, you've won this championship before, and I know you want to do it again. But before we let you go, sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done for you?
Got to thank Aaron for putting this thing on, and Steve for admitting, and everybody else out there that helps out. You guys, of course, are broadcasting. You just do an excellent job. Can't say enough about that. And sponsors, Aaron for sponsoring, and it's just a lot of fun. Hippie's Paint Shop for putting paint on the cars and trucks, and I got to thank family and friends out there and give them a shout out if anybody's out there watching. That's about it.
That's Scott Simley. He will also be fighting for a championship. Scott, good luck in 1 week.
Thank you.
With that, Gabe, we're going to wrap things up here from Avondale, Arizona. Final thoughts before we leave Phoenix International Raceway or ISM Raceway. The walls and the graphics say ISM, or Phoenix, I should say, but it is ISM Raceway now. But Gabe, final thoughts?
Well, good racing overall. I mean, we didn't have the backstretch dog leg like we said, and that produced some pretty clean racing. I mean, these guys didn't have the opportunity to get low and pretty much wreck each other. So it was a good night overall. These guys, they put on some good racing, and we actually didn't know who was going to win to the end of it. Jamie Walker, as he said, he ran out of fuel coming to the line. So if he didn't recognize that in the final few laps, we might have had Bobby Terrell talking to us from victory lane.
Yeah, so Jamie did an excellent job conserving fuel. There's one race left to go in the championship, and it all ends up at Homestead Miami Speedway. Who will walk out with the B&C Lawn and Landscaping Truck Series Championship? Well, you'll just have to wait a week to find out. You can find our full broadcast schedule online at www.livesimracing.com. Of course, tomorrow night, the American Pool Supply Truck Series gets back underway. Had a impromptu off week due to traffic being crazy, I guess would be one word for it, but should get back underway, and I believe we'll be heading to one of the short tracks there, so that'll be a lot of fun. So you can catch that at 9:30 Sunday night here on LSRTV. Monday night, we have an off week for the Full Throttle RSR Cup Series presented by English Auto LLC, and we'll be back in action Wednesday night with the CEA Weekly Dirt Series. Well, that'll do it for myself, Cisco Scaramuza. He's been Gabe Wood. Of course, gotta thank Evan Pisoko, Laura Lawson, DJ Lyon, everybody who makes it happen behind the scenes. Winner tonight gonna be Jamie Walker, but 4 drivers gonna battle it out for the championship: Bobby Terrell, Christian Peterson, Jamie Walker, and Scott Simley. Who gets the trophy? Who gets the win? Who's gonna walk out of there with the steering wheel instead of the trophy? All that and more we'll find out next week right here on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Good night.